Good morning, modern steaders. We got the other batch of meat birds out on pasture now. Got this group here, which we just got out the other day. And then we have these other ones. They've been out for a while now. These guys over here are gonna be getting processed in a couple of days, and they're gonna be going in the freezer. Can't wait, we're gonna have some delicious meat. These guys have still got a few more weeks, and then we still have one more batch in our chick brooder, and they'll be out on pasture once these guys are harvested. It's always nice knowing you have good meat in the freezer. Pluto, you going around giving them the sniff test? I don't think they like it. The first week or so of moving the meat birds is kind of slow going. And now, when it's almost harvest time, they move so easy. Watch this. Now they know that they like the fresh grass. They walk forward and love it. These guys are getting huge. We're gonna have some good sized meat birds in the freezer. We'll be getting back up to the off-grid property in a minute. We have finished doing our animal chores before we can get up there. And then I'm hoping by the end of this video, we'll have running water up at the off-grid property. That's the goal. Just get everything hooked up, see if the water works, and then we can go on from there. And look at that sky, so beautiful. Look at the onions, they're looking so good. They smell good, Pluto?
Hard to feed because you get it in your mouth.
The garlic's looking amazing. Can't wait till it's time to harvest it.
Soon. 1 month?
Yep. Is this what you're waiting for, Moose? Come on, come on, come on. Let's go over here. There you go. Sounds like Camo and Little Man must have finished up all their hay first thing this morning, and they need more. Did you boys finish eating all your hay this morning? Yeah, you did, didn't you? Your nose is gonna be too big soon to fit through there. Watch out. Come on in, pigs. How's your breakfast? Huh? You always have food in there, don't you? Yeah, you do. You got an endless buffet of grain. Huh? And then they get our leftover food scraps every night after dinner. So the pigs are eating good. They're not gonna let you in, Hope. We made it up to the off-grid property. We did get some rain last night, and we got a 4 to 5 foot hole dug. I'm curious to see if we got any water in it. Oh yeah, we do. I don't know how deep it is over here, but
You're gonna have fun in there.
I thought you were getting down the hole today. No?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I hope it's not like quicksand.
I'm sure it's muddy. I might have to trench that end back out a little bit with the excavator, but I'm curious to see. Up here we're not bad. It's just down this way it ran down a little bit. You got your rubber boots on today. You're already ready set to go in the hole.
Well, I don't think this is waterproof. So
Oh, those are waterproof. You're good.
I don't think I can.
I think you're good. Guess I better put my boots on.
You probably should have brought your waders.
They're not in here. All right, now that we got that cleaned out, we need to start up above further with get our hose hooked up, and we'll run it down. And then once we get down this way, we can get our hydrant in place. That'll be the fun part, is playing in all that water, installing our hydrant. So I ended up picking up 1.25 inch water line. We got 2 100-foot rolls. We need like 130, I figured. So I ended up going with the 1.25 inch because I want more volume coming down gravity. We're not going to be pressurized. So in my head, I'm thinking the more volume we have in the line, the more pressure we're going to get with being gravity fed. And then that'll also make it so we have more water in reserves, because we're going to have almost double the amount of water in there as we would a 3/4 inch line. We had a little bit of a blowout here. You have to dig some of this out by hand. That rain didn't help. Wow. This is gonna take a few minutes. Really? There we go. I was actually hoping it was going to be warm and sunny out today to help make this pipe a little bit more flexible, but it's cooled off and it's cloudy today.
Pay attention to that.
What?
Where you're walking.
There goes a rock. All right. I got a hose clamp. I want to put that on. So I also need to heat this pipe up with a torch. Just get it heated. I don't want to melt it, so we can get it pliable to get it up and around and on this fitting. Oh yeah, just like butter. I had an issue down here with the IBC tote connection, so I'm a little worried that where the fitting is, it might leak. Not the hose, but the IBC tote itself. I don't know why we're having issues or why it cracked. So I'll have to get water in here and see if that's still watertight. The chance it is. Doesn't look like it does anything, but you never know. So worst case scenario, we'd have to take the tote out and buy something different or get a different IBC tote. Right where this little ditch is, it's right at the frost line. So just in this little area, I'm gonna put some foam over the pipe just to be on the safe side. Everywhere else, it's way below the frost line. Now we can work lower and get our frost-free hydrant in. If I get my foot unstuck. Just want to make sure I get all the rocks out that are on the bottom. I don't want the rocks touching the water line. And I'd say we're below the frost. I got a little carried away, I guess. Some spots, it's deeper than me in here. Should deep enough. So I'm thinking I'll find it with a line is, but if we put the hydrant right, actually the hydrant goes right here, it'll be at the end of this line. And then that way we don't go to work in the water today. And then we can keep this open and figure out where we're running the rest of it. Maybe trench the rest of it today and get this down there done. I was just looking, if I put the frost-free hydrant where the end of that line is, that's going to be potentially in the area where we're going to have one of our driveways. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to bring the excavator back down here and I'm going to dig this trench a little bit deeper back this way. And we'll probably end up putting the hydrant about right here. But I want to dig the trench further back so all this water has a place to go so we don't have to stand and work in the puddle. Because it's probably about 2 feet deep right there because we're downhill, so everything's just coming downhill and it doesn't have a place to go right now. Have I told you yet how excited I am to have running water up here at the off-grid property? Without power, I'm pretty pumped. So this right here is our hydrant. The handle's up high, so it's 7 feet up top. 5 feet of this can get buried. So when you turn the water line on up there, it'll shoot water up, and then when you shut it off, it'll drain it all 5 feet back underground, and there's a little seep hole right here where the water comes out. So we're gonna make sure we put gravel in the ground, so when this drains, it has a place for it to drain. And that's how, that's how this doesn't freeze in the wintertime, because it drains all the water back down under the frost line. So we need to get some fittings made up. I spent quite a bit of time at Lowe's trying to find fittings that would work, because right now with everything going on, they're short about just about everything, including fittings. So it took me probably about an hour. I think I got it figured out. There we go. That's good right there. That should be going. Yeah, that'll be good. There we go. I know I got some zip ties. Come this way a smidge. It's not bad. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Make it work. There, that's good. Alright, now I gotta put some more gravel in this area till we get up past this seep hole. Might as well work up here and get one of these hooked up, and then I'll work in the ditch after. We just have our barbed union fittings. don't need to heat it up a lot, just enough to make it pliable. Right there. So that's more than enough drainage for our hydrant.
Careful you don't fall in.
I'm gonna need the water just to rinse the ladder off to bring back.
Gross.
Change of plans today. Woke up this morning and it is raining out. Looked at the weather. The weather has changed for the day. We're supposed to be getting 3/4 of an inch of rain today. Rain all day long. Rain's a good thing. The garden's gonna love it. The grass seed up at the off-grid property is gonna love it. But it's not a good day to go back up to the off-grid property and work on our water system. I went out yesterday and I picked up a lot more material so we can add more water lines in, but we're not gonna be doing that today. We have our first batch of meat birds that needs to get harvested tomorrow, so I'm gonna get set up for that today. We got some new restraining cones that I've never used before, so we're gonna get those set up. And we have a delivery that's coming today. It was supposed to have been coming earlier in the week and it just keeps getting pushed off. But they promised me it'll be here today, but we have to be home for that delivery, so we need to make sure we're here. As much as I wanna be up on the off-grid property working on the water lines, it's not looking that way today. One of the things I've learned in life is you gotta be able to adapt and overcome quickly and not let it get you down. So we're not gonna let it get us down. We're gonna move on with our next projects. I've tried a lot of different restraining cones in the past for when we're harvesting our chickens. These are what they go in before you. These ones we got last year to try. They're too big and not deep enough. These ones don't, I think it's the shape of them. They're kind of like an oblong, they're not round. So the chickens can bounce around, they can get themselves out. The first set of restraining cones I used were ones that I made, and they were kind of more shaped like this, but the hole wasn't as big. I just made them out of a piece of sheet metal that I found lying around that was covered in paint. And it was from like the 50s, so I don't know if it was lead paint or not. So we decided we shouldn't be using that. So we've tried these ones in the past. And we've always just kind of, I don't want to call it an issue, but it's not as easy as the original restraining cones that I've used. So this year, we're going to be trying these ones. I think these are from Featherman's. To me, they're a tighter fit and they're longer, so the bird should sit in here better. I'm going to give these ones a try and see how they work out. I'm thinking they should work good, but we're going to find out in a little bit. Every year I'm just looking for ways to be more efficient and to shave off a little bit of time because it adds up.
You know, so just in case you didn't know this, I'm going to give you a little tidbit of info. Okay. This is work. You're supposed to order things that are fun.
I guess it's a good thing we stayed back at the homestead today. It is raining out really good right now, and this shipment came a lot earlier than I thought it would have. So if we would have been at the off-grid property, we wouldn't have been back in time to get the shipment, and they wouldn't have just left it here. So as much as I'm disappointed I couldn't make it to the off-grid property today, I'm glad it all worked out in the end. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. the next morning, getting set up for the chicken butchering. I'm an early bird. I like getting everything set up early. I get hot water in our chicken scalder, get it plugged in, make sure our water temperature is up to temp. We want that around 145 degrees. One thing I need to make sure is that my petcock is closed, because one year I had that all up to temp, went and did the chores, I came back, and the water had drained out. I left the petcock open, so I had to start all over again. On, off, good to go. Yes, we have hot water on the outside of the house. Yes, we're spoiled, but when you're harvesting animals, it's nice to have warm water, especially in the fall when you're harvesting pigs or deer or anything like that and it's cold out, you want to warm your hands up. I'm telling you, it's the best investment we've made. Awesome. 104, we have it set for 145, so 145 is the temperature you want to scald your meat birds. This will make it so the feathers will come out easy, but it won't cook the bird so the skin rips. Some soap. Have our harvesting cones, our scalder, our plucker, and then this is one of the best setups we've done too, the outdoor kitchen. After all that outside stuff, the chickens come in here, we eviscerate them, we can wash them off in our sink. Then we have our cooler, we let them sit in an ice bath for a while and cool off till we're all done. I'll take them out, we'll let them drip dry, package them up, put them in heat shrink bags, and it's good to go. This right here is just our garden hose hooked up with a kitchen sprayer like they'd use in a commercial kitchen. This is a commercial sink we found. We've had this for years. It works awesome. I just got some rough plumbing hooked up. It drains outside. It's just water, soapy water. We use environmentally friendly soap that's biodegradable. Good to go. We have our hose coming off the house, rolled all the way out, hot water. Just hooked up to our hose out here. Boom. It looks like a lot, but it's a pretty slick, easy setup. This is one of the first things we built because when we were harvesting pigs, we had a class. And when we're harvesting pigs, it's in the wintertime. It can snow, it can rain. And I don't want to be doing that outside. And in the summertime, when we're going to harvest our chickens, it can be cold, it can be rainy. You just never know. So to have a place to come inside and to do it and not go in the house and do it, whew, we would have a mess in the house. A happy wife is a happy life. So we might not have a deck, but we got an outdoor kitchen. I think that's better than a deck. Just my opinion. All right, so it's 7 hours later, and that went awesome. We harvested 40 meat birds. We saved some out because they were too small, and we'll let them grow up till we harvest again. We're all picked up, we cleaned everything up. The harvesting cones that we used worked awesome. These are Featherman ones. Worked really well. First time I've used them. Made a huge difference. They're stainless steel, easy to clean up. They look like new still. So our biggest bird that we harvested was 6.2 pounds. That's awesome. And the smallest one was 3.1 pounds. I should have saved that one aside, but I didn't. And I saved some that were probably around the size of that 3-pounder. And I want to raise them up for a couple more weeks. And we'll see how big they get. We still have 2 more batches of meat birds. If you guys want to see the process, I was going to say more of the process. I didn't show you any. I just showed you our setup. If you want to see some of the process, leave it in the comments down below. I can probably show a little bit, but YouTube doesn't like us showing very much of it. I was going to show a little bit today, but it is raining out. Don't know if you can hear that, but it started raining out, and it's been raining the whole time. So we're all cleaned up now. It went great. Gina saved out 6 meat birds aside, and she's going to piece them up. She'll cut up the breast, she'll cut up the wings and the thighs, and then we'll put them in different bags. We'll keep them in the freezers. So we still have about 100 more meat birds to harvest throughout the season. We'll get to those as the time comes. If you guys want to see more of that, let us know. Leave it in the comments down below. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. We had to switch up our plans over the last couple of days because this weather is messing everything up. I'm hoping to get back up to the off-grid property tomorrow because it's not supposed to be raining, and we can continue working on that water line. That's going to be a huge game changer on the off-grid property, having gravity-fed spring water up there. So that means when we bring our animals up there, we'll have an awesome water source for them. So thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps. Subscribe to the channel. Share it. All this stuff helps push our channel higher up on the YouTube algorithm. And what that ends up doing is that pushes us out even further into YouTube land and helps us reach a broader audience. So thanks for coming along. And we'll see you guys right back here in the next video. Bye.